Any question for Ohimai of the NCP? Does any of you have a question for Ifa Nyajufo of the NTP? Participants, does any of you have a question on education for Uche or PDP? Okay. Sunday, your question for Uche.
Yeah, Uche, I want you to address two things. One is the attempt to build more universities, and maybe you should just clarify what informed the decision of your candidate, our president, to embark on this in the eves of our elections. And also, I was in Kaduna over the weekend, and I still saw Alumajiris on the streets, and you said they're all gone. I want to know where those ones came from.
I'll address questions one by one. I mean,
you have 1 minute.
1 minute. I have two questions. Should I skip one question, or how am I going to? He asked two questions.
Yes. You can answer two questions.
In 1 minute, okay.
For as long as you do so in 1 minute.
No problem. I really don't understand when building a university became a bad thing. I mean, many of us have families in which we have children, which when they finish doing JAM, they don't even know. Say, why is your child not going to school? He has not gotten admission. No. So when we know we don't have enough universities, and you're criticizing the fact that we're building more universities. Now, when you build a university, you build a city. A university is a city on its own. You're building jobs. You're building encouragement for people who live in that environment. People see a university and an environment and say, I want to go to that school. I want to send my children to that school. Now you're criticizing the creation of universities. It seems as if you don't understand how federal universities were created. In the 1950s, 1960s, some of you who are older will understand. We had very few universities. If you got admission into UI or UNN, there's a party in your village. We kept on building small universities, but small. We kept adding more federal universities because there were not enough. Many of our parents had to travel abroad to go to universities. And we wanted our people to stay here and go to universities. The federal government can on their own decide, you know what, let's hand away from funding education. But they have taken it upon themselves that we want to fund education, build universities, and educate the children.
Okay. Thank you very much. The bell is once this time. So, okay, let's go to power now. Does any of you have a question for ACN on power? Anyone has a question for CPC on power? Anyone has a question for NCP on power? Does anyone have a question for IFAI of NTP on power? Does anyone have a question for PDP on power? Okay, please go ahead and ask. Please go ahead and ask the question.
Mr. Uche.
You need to put off your microphone, Uche.
Mr. Uche, you are standing before Nigerians. You are here representing the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Can you please, in that capacity, tell us what happened to the power probe?
I'm happy I work and I represent Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, who believes in moving forward. He doesn't waste his time checking out the excesses of the past. The power roadmap that we have today was developed using the past. In 2005, 2006, committees were set up to understand why we had no power, why we are where we are. He put them all together and created his roadmap. And his roadmap has clearly defined how we are moving forward into the future to achieve 40,000 megawatts by 2020. I can't understand a situation where we Nigerians want to move back. I can't understand a situation where we Nigerians don't want to think about our future, build our country, build our energy structure. He has outlined his plans. He is on schedule for December, January, February, and we're talking about a probe. Can you please explain the probe, sir, please?
Okay. We will come to. I think it's fair. Let's go through all the questions. We take the next two sets of questions. We take the rebuttals. At the end of the whole questioning, we will invite the audience, and you have ample time to ask questions to the participants. This is a youth program, so let's move on to youth development. I mean, we all believe that an investment in the youth is the investment in the future of a nation, and as a matter of fact, it's destiny. We heard this evening from the Minister of Women Affairs, who herself was quoting a third-party source, that about 65% of the Nigerian population is made up of, well, those who call the youth, that is, those who are 35 and below. Yet, you have unemployment, youth restiveness, and a whole lot of increase in crime and social vices. This is traceable to a large extent to malcontent and a state of dissatisfaction among young Nigerians. So, if your candidate, maybe we'll start from the other end this time, PDP, if your candidate wins, how do you propose to address the critical issues to ensure that the youths are constructively engaged and able to achieve their maximum potentials? We begin this time from the PDP.
Thank you very much. More than any other candidate, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan has shown by his actions that he cares about the youth. His move about coming onto Facebook to communicate with Nigerians exemplified, because who used Facebook? It's the youth that use Facebook. He tried to communicate to Nigerians there. He said, you know what, these are my most important constituency. When he was running for election, when he declared his intention to run for election, he wrote a note on Facebook. He didn't call a press media conference. He put it on Facebook. He said, look, I want to talk to the youth. I want to talk to my primary constituency. I want to talk to the people who constitute 70% of the electorate. The elections, the Electoral Act reforms that he has put in place, where he is committed to ensuring that there are free and fair elections. He has informed us at several different points of view, time, that this election about the youths, this is an election about protecting our future, about him allowing us, leaving a legacy for us to actually inherit tomorrow, for us to be leaders of tomorrow, for us to be able to be voted for us to stand for election and have our votes counted for. That is the reason why he put these electoral reforms, one man, one vote. He has stressed that he wants to remove that image of youth as being violent. He keeps on stating time after time, do not be used for violence. My ambition as president is far, far, far. It's not as important for you to lose your life for 1 second. He's a youth-driven president. I wish you can have a visit to our campaign house. The average age of the people involved in his campaign is 30 years old. He doesn't want to work with average politicians as we have it right now. He says, no, these are the people who are going to move my nation forward. These are the people who I'm committed to in giving them a future tomorrow. These are the people who I want to have companies for.
30 seconds. Okay, thank you very much. Youth development, this time NTP.
Thank you very much. First, for young school leavers, NTP will ensure that we introduce entrepreneurial skill in schools, so that when you are out of school, you are not looking up to one big company there to get you employed. You can start up something on your own. That is one key step we take for youth in that category. For the youths that are out of school, we want to have what we call unemployment database. And we want to design it in a way that is no longer because your father or whoever is influential, or because you brought a note from one person, that's why you are being employed. We want to have a database, and we want to encourage competition by making sure that you get employed based on what you came out from the school with, the degree you came out with, the qualification you came out with from the school. So we want to have a database. Having said that, we also think that this youth problem starts from the kindergarten age. That is why we say to you that we have to make sure we force every child in Nigerian streets back to school. so that at the end of the day, they can be well placed in the society. Thank you very much.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I believe that Ohima is the youngest debater on this podium, if not one of the youngest in the room. So, what will your candidate do for your constituency, the youth?
Thank you very much, sir. Distinguished Nigerians, talk is cheap. But there is only one presidential candidate today who appointed a 26-year-old man as his campaign manager. That candidate is Dele Momodu. To demonstrate the practicality of his belief in the future of the Nigerian youth, I'm standing here today as a 26-year-old man. I represent the youths of Nigeria. And my candidate believes strongly in the youths. And it is on record that he's the only presidential candidate as well. In fact, he was on Facebook before President Jonathan joined Facebook. Not to mention the fact, my candidate started communicating with Nigerian youths on BlackBerry. He's the only presidential candidate interacting with the youths of Nigeria on Twitter. You send him a tweet, you can be sure he'll respond. You send him a BB message, you can be sure he responds. And it's very easy. I said it earlier. Youth development is a key focus of my candidate's agenda for this country. And that is why he has said it. He's going to create 50,000 jobs from day one of his assumption of office. It's very easy. I'll tell you why and how. Nigeria spends 60 billion naira every year on fertilizer, as if we have the worst landform in the world. With 60 billion naira, we can create 60,000 millionaire farmers. With 1 million naira today, you can empower a Nigerian graduate to start cultivating 10 acres of land. He has done it practically for his nephew, who graduated from school, could not get a job. He told the young man, send me a business plan. The young man sent him a business plan, and with 1 million naira today, the young man is cultivating 10 acres of land in Osun State with 20 people employed under him. It is not rocket science.